I love that Nintendo Switch!
What is going on, Switch family? It's your boy QKG, and today we're going to be getting down with the review of Streets of Rage 4, and we're going to be reviewing the Nintendo Switch version. And also, if you're new to the channel, make sure you look at the description. That's actually the link to my Discord server, the Switch Fam server. So if you guys want to go ahead and just chop it up with me, and then also, I'm mainly on Discord all the time, so that's actually the best way you can actually even talk to me as well too. So let's dive into Streets of Rage 4. And I'll be honest, as the beat 'em up genre and through what I've experienced throughout my years, Streets of Rage 4 is something a little bit special. It's in that same conversation with Double Dragon. So back in the day, of course, the beat 'em up genre was big, and the main culprits for getting me into them were my brother and my uncle Jeremy. My brother Deshaun and my uncle Jeremy, they literally got me introduced into that genre because I remember them playing the freaking Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles beat 'em up, which was amazing. And then seeing them playing Double Dragon with my brother was such an amazing time. And beat 'em ups are always simple. It gives you a reason to fight. Double Dragon, you just see a girl get punched in the stomach, get carried off. You like, hey man, that ain't cool. That's enough to get me mad. So the beat 'em up genre has always been a pretty reliable genre just to release and have a good time. It's not a heavy story. It's not heavy mechanics. You just go through and take out enemies. It's a good time. So what Streets of Rage 4 does now, this is actually taking place years after the third game, and to be 100% honest with you, they gave you a story in the form of like these like comic strips in a way. Like the whole art style itself is very comic inspired, and it looks so good. I can't lie. The scenery, the background, the characters, I have enjoyed looking at everything in the game. There's not one character in the game that I'm like, man, that could have been touched up, or why does character look like that. Like I got the characters, I call them DMX. They the characters that if you jump up, they automatically uppercut you. And then these annoying chicks with the mohawks that, or whatever that little high top like fade thing is, whatever they got, they literally jump in the air and double kick you, and they're pretty accurate at it. So the game itself has good characters, lively atmosphere, and that soundtrack is just Now the songs in the game that you're gonna hear in the background, they're pretty good, man. Especially when you do the first level. The first level made a very good impression on me. Just hearing the theme and fighting and all the stuff going on and getting mobbed by enemies, man, it was such a good time, man. So the soundtrack made it pretty good. I mean, sound effects, there wasn't anything too off. I honestly didn't even run into glitches like that, to be honest with you. So the game itself worked all the way throughout the gate, which, I mean, of course, I'm not going to say that should be, you know, kind of an expectation nowadays, but sometimes, you know, things happen, mistakes can be made. Sometimes these bigger, ambitious games have more glitches. This game was more, I'm not even going to say more of an indie title, but to be honest with you, Sega didn't even know the game was even, you know, finished until they actually released the trailer. Sega didn't even know too much about it. They pretty much got the green light to do the development of it, but Sega really didn't have their hand in the game like that. So this is going to come into play with something I'm going to lead into at the end of the review, and it's going to be really important. So let me stay on track here and just continue on with the game. So the thing about beat 'em ups is sometimes the combat is very simple. You have your standard combos, you might have a special, and you can maybe sometimes pick up weapons and use those. So in this game, it's going to keep all of that same format, except this game you now have a defensive special and an offensive special. And of course, that's still going to take up your health, but this time, if you actually fight back and build up your health until it's all the way filled up, it's going to have a little green little rectangle that's right next to the health bar. It's going to show where it's depleted, and if you actually land all your hits and you build that bar all the way up without getting hit, you actually gain the health back that you just used for that special. But of course, if you get hit, you just lost all that health. So if you're that person that wants to spam supers and think like, oh, I'm just going to beat everybody up and get all my health back, the more specials you do, the more special you use, the more specials you use in the game, the more likely you are to pretty much get almost one-shotted, because you can keep using your super until your health is almost depleted. So be careful on what you do in the game, because that's something that some people didn't actually know in the game. So be very careful with that. So be careful with that. That's just a little helpful tip, because I mean, honestly, you'll probably find out within like 5 minutes of playing the game, because you'll spam supers and then realize, why am I dying so fast? But overall, that little system, I'm not gonna say it's not been, you know, it's super ambitious or anything like that. It's a good mechanic, but this game, as far as beat 'em ups, isn't doing anything. If you're looking for something really innovative, it's not. But if you're looking for a solid beat 'em up, this is definitely a perfect choice for you. Mainly just because there's not many beat 'em ups out there, and this one actually has the most love, blood, sweat, and tears put into it. This one has a lot of love put in from those devs, and seeing as how Sega really didn't have a hand in the development, kind of makes it even more special on those devs that put that hard work into this game. So with all this being said, and this is what I'm going to end off on with this review, and this is what I was talking about earlier. So if you guys remembered, I did a poll, and I've been waiting to use this ammo. I did a poll on this channel, literally asking you guys, hey, what games you want to see me review, and I put in 4 games, and as a joke, I was like, let me put in Contra Roll Corps, or just because I didn't even know if the game was gonna be amazing. I just looked at the trailer, I was like, why they got a freaking cyborg panda? I don't know, but I put it in there as a joke, and of course, that was the thing that got picked. And I even played the demo just to try to get myself warmed up to it. I even had a little bit of fun playing the demo. I saw where this game was very limited, and in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, I'm pretty sure there may be more to this. I'm going to be a little bit more open-minded. I want to see what else this game has to offer. So when I actually finally purchased the game and played it, oh my god, first off, the game was $40. Second off, I mean, it was dead on launch. I'm pretty sure nobody was looking forward to this game that much. And then when we finally got our hands on it, it just didn't feel good. It just felt like an empty shell of what the game used to be. It really didn't feel like anything was really connected. They tried to do the same thing that Streets of Rage 4 was doing. So with these games, I noticed that a lot of the companies, sometimes they're a little bit worried, hey, let's not dump a lot of money into a franchise. They might not even want it. So sometimes they make a budget title to kind of test the waters and see, like, hey, let's see how we can do this, and maybe throw a little bit more money into it to make it a little bit better for the fans. And that's what it seems like Streets of Rage 4 did right, that Contra Roll Corps did not. Contra Roll Corps was a sad situation. I played the Contra games in the past, and I was definitely looking forward to this game to have a little bit more to it. And I was even open-minded after seeing the trailers, and the trailers definitely did not look amazing to me. So I knew for a fact that I was going to have an issue with the game, but I was still trying to be open-minded to at least try to enjoy the game. So with that being said, that's the lesson when it comes into the scary world of bringing and reviving old franchises. It seems like if it does not go well, the company is terrified to do it again, which makes sense because you have to dump money into a project before it's even released and before it's even sold. It makes sense. So the way this game was handled, it's not a Contra Roll Corps, so thank goodness. But also, that's just one of those weird little, I don't know. This is something I thought about in the middle of this review. So that's something pretty interesting to think about. So I was about to say Contra Roll Corps again. So Streets of Rage 4, in closing, what do I enjoy about the game? I enjoy the game's combat. I love pulling off those specials. They were flashy. They just looked good. The effects were nice. Even though the game does not have voice acting in the game, the cutscenes were all like kind of like comic strips in a way. I do wish that there was a little bit more maybe just a little bit more voice acting. You have some characters that say certain things here and there when they're picked, but you don't really hear your character and, you know, actually have their dialogue. So you don't really hear too much of that. So I do wish that there was voice acting in the game, and hopefully in a future update, I definitely hope that each and every character can at least dash. Maybe a little bit, maybe a lot. Not to say that it's not good for balance reasons, because I noticed playing the game with Axel, he can't dash, but his playstyle is more let them come to me and I'm gonna fight you. But sometimes it gets even more difficult when you have certain enemies that, like the little jumping girls, like they can jump, kick you in the face, and it's really, you have to be really quick to kick them in the face. So I'm not trying to say that it's impossible to play as other characters. It's just you're gonna have a more difficult time, because I switched to Adam and burned through that mission no problem and murked everybody. So sometimes it just depends on the person. Personally, for me, I was like, why does he not have a dash? This feels a little weird to me, but I kind of understand if you're trying to use that for balance reasons. And besides that, the game itself has been a blast. And on the QKG scale, I would definitely have to give this game, on the scale, I would have to just say, honestly, my opinion, it's a combination of a needs work and honestly decent. Mainly because it's a solid pickup. I'm not saying it has a ton of story and, you know, side content in there. It really kind of doesn't. But overall, it's something that you can pick up, something you can have a blast, something that you can literally pass another controller to a friend and play. Like, literally, me and my girlfriend played this thing. She helped me beat the game because, honestly, it provides a pretty good challenge. And for somebody who loves the challenge, hey, you're going to have a blast with this game. But it also gives you, you know, just in case if you're getting destroyed, it gives you an option. Hey, you can get extra life, you can get an extra star special. It just depends on whatever it is you need. So that's all I got to say about Streets of Rage 4. I'm sorry if this was a little bit lengthy, but this game is a little, it's in a weird category. I see the game doing very good, but I know it was a low budget title, and we may see more Streets of Rage content in the future. I would love to see the DLC characters, because honestly, the classic characters, yes, they're cool for me, but for somebody who's never played Streets of Rage before, they're going to be like, why you give me this old character I don't care about? Because those older characters were a little limited. For us, it's more nostalgic for those who have played it. For those who have not, you're going to see it as something kind of useless. You're like, I could have used another character, like a more updated character. So I would like to thank you guys for tuning into this review, and as always, leave your comments down below on what you think about Streets of Rage 4, or if there's any game that you've been playing recently that you want to share your thoughts on, something you enjoy, something you didn't, I don't know, just definitely leave in the comment section down below. So I'd like to thank you guys for tuning in. This is your boy QKG, and peace out.